Alright guys, let's talk about how to cut and sew this picola neck on your suit. The simplest method, if I must say. Yeah, I'm Modern Shalom, a fashion instructor from the Foundlings Clothing. Make sure if you haven't subscribed, you hit the subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up if you find it helpful, and share as well as we jump right into the lesson without any delay. So let's go, guys. You can still remember we folded that line, or we marked that line 16 from the bottom to that break point, just as seen. The lapel line wasn't folded the last time, and now I'm breaking it to that notch we made while we were cutting the suit. If you haven't watched the lesson before this one, for better understanding, make sure you check the video on suit making before this one. Check the video description of this lesson or the screen on or before the end of this video. I'll display it on the screen. Make sure you iron it properly. Make sure the two sides align, because after pressing this very well, I will use this side to fold the other side of the lapel. Here on the cutting table is where we are now. Follow me closely. We are going to be using the folded lapel line to make this. And make sure your fabric is cut way above your neck measurement, just like seen. And I'll be having two of this fabric, the weight up to 7 or 6.5 inches, and length like 5 or 6 inches above the neck measurement. So, and I used hairstay on it, not any other gum stronger than that. So the pieces I'll be using to cut the neck is the one you're seeing right here that is already on fold. Just like said, the lapel line is very important when it comes to cutting a suit neck. Watch very well the positioning of this suit. Make sure everything lies very well so that you can be able to see the back line, the stitch from the back bodies. So I'm making use of this back line. I will insert that thing by 1 inches, that collar pieces. Insert it inside by 1 inch or 1/4. Make sure you arrange it very well the way I'm doing. So from the back line, slant it by 1/4 inch, just like you are seeing. It shouldn't be straight. And I'll be marking from this point here like this. Now here, I'm marking it the same because the sewing allowance will take 1/4 inch. So I'll place my ruler following that break point, that folded line. And the neck width here, I'll be keeping it 1/3 inch. And I will add 1/4 inch for the sewing allowance. So connect it like so. So you can decide to use your French curve if you are not good on the freehand sketch. Make sure your lines drawn are visible, because I'll be lifting the bodies like this. Here I'll add a sewing allowance of 1/4 and 1/8. You can add 1/4 if you so wish. I'll connect those 2 points. And here I will add 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch. Because why I'm adding that 3/4 is because I will be sewing 1/4 and 1/8 on each side. Here I'll mark 1/2 inches. And here I'll mark 3/4 of an inch. The neckline is not supposed to be straight from that point. It's supposed to be curved so that it will lie very well. So the pieces you are seeing here, look at how it looks like. That's the neck. And that is the upper one. So we'll be placing it on the other pieces to sew. So the total we have here is 3.5 inches. So I will sew from this side here. Watch carefully. By that 1/4 I kept. So watch carefully because I'll be trimming out the excesses from that back piece. These pieces I'm trimming here will help us to top stitch the back piece. So this is what we have. This is how it's supposed to be. We're saying the stitch part will be where the collar, will be folded to. After giving it a nice press, I'll cut out this side first. So to the machine, we are flipping it to the wrong side, like so. The sewn side is up, and if we are stitching the other side, the side we top stitched will be down, folded to the down side. Watch what I will do here, like this. Now flip it to the right side. To make it pointed, I'm using my scissor. I'm ironing it. Make sure these 2 seams are well ironed. And after that, I'll cut out the excess from the other pieces, like so. Confirm if they are the same. If not, trim out the excesses and notch the midpoint of the collar. Please, on this part, you have to pay extra attention. Watch closely so that you don't miss out. This side here that has a top stitch will be the side that will be placed in this order, like this, so that when it's folded, it will be hidden. So flip it this way. I repeat again, like this. This is how it will be. We'll turn it to this side. Watch carefully. Let me mark so that you see it clearly. This is where my needle will end, my stitches will end. They do not climb that line, that sewn line. and I will flip the other side from the back. Watch carefully. Have you seen that the other pieces is moving away from that side? Make sure the thing reaches that point, that where that angle is. Please don't top stitch or don't stitch on the other pieces. It should be only one piece you stitch. So we have an angle here. So when we stitch to that point, I'll be notching that angle by 1/4 and 1/8 of an inch. So I'll flip it to this side while my needle is still pinned to the dress. The fabric, I'll notch it. So look at the notch closely. I'll sew to that very notch, where that notch ends. Don't pass the notch. So like this, I'll flip the collar to this way. And I'll sew it by the same 1/4 and 1/8. Make sure your notch on the collar aligns with that notch or that back stitch where those two back pieces were joined. That's where you will know if your collar is short than your back bodies. And I'll not sew to cross that notch. I'll leave it there and close it after I've finished joining the neck from the other side again. This is what we have. Let's go to the other side. This is how it should be. Again, repeat the same process. Hold it like this. Make sure the other pieces leaves that side. And pull the seam of the neck, collar neck. When I reach at that angle again, I will notch it by 1/4 and 1/8 again, like so, and I will sew to that point. And I'll straighten it. So let's see. So the neck is exactly the size of the back body's neck. So we are going to close it all the way to the first stitch. And this is what we have. So let's join the other side. Watch carefully. So guys, if you find this lesson really helpful, kindly give it a thumbs up, like and share. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do well to hit the subscribe button so you can be notified by turning on your notification button, as to be able to get notification each time we upload a new video. Yeah, this is the found links where fashion questions are answered and fashion problems solved. All right, guys, let's move on. So this is what we have. And to this side, I'll be flipping it from the lining, the armhole of the lining to the wrong side. Watch carefully. Please pay attention. I'll be flipping it to the wrong side. Now this peak here will be shifted inside while I bring together the two pieces. Those two pieces like this. I'm repeating the same process so that you get it right. Don't top stitch on any of those seams. If not, the result will not be what you want to have. Make sure everything is put in place. I'm taking my time to explain this so that I don't have plenty of questions. The same notching process is what I'm just doing there on all those angles. So I will close it to the first side we started our stitches from. So we are done with this neck on the stitching part of the inner one. Now all those angles we notched on the side of the neck, those pointed angles are supposed to be trimmed out. So let's go to the pressing table now so we can do justice to this neck. Make sure you follow the pressing process carefully too, because it will help you to have the result you want. We are pulling it to the wrong side, completely to the wrong side. That's the more reason we haven't used hemming gum on the lining that is supposed to hold the front bodies and the lining together. So I'm going to open press the neck to the back bodies fabric, but the neck to the lining part will not be open pressed in some parts. In case of any question, make sure you use the group, not my DM. Anything you're dropping on my DM should be a private discussion. For any other question pertaining to these suit making classes, drop it on the group. So now we are done open pressing it. What we'll do is to bring this part of the neck, the lining side, to the body side, and make sure they align this way to this side as well, and we'll be stitching it together. The notches should align, and this other side should align as well. Make sure you guide it very well so that the lining is not stitched to it. Look at how I'm controlling it under so that the lining will not move into the seam. Now let's flip it to the right side. This is what we have. And now we are going to be pressing it from the right side. So we are going to be having that after pressing this and following the break points. I'll iron the neck. So the pressing will not be complete. We'll finish that after fixing the sleeve. So now that I'm done ironing it or pressing it, I'll use my thread just like the breezing thread. You don't have to double it, and it should be a matching thread. Watch carefully what I'm doing there. And I'll be stitching it to the end where we are supposed to end here. And this will be the result after stitching it. Flipped to the other side, the thread is not supposed to show. Like, look at how it is. And now let's hem the lining inside. So I'm flipping it to the right side, the wrong side, sorry, where we join our lining to the interface, that lapel interface. We'll be putting our hemming gum all through. Make sure your sewing doesn't reach that first seam. And don't divide the hemming gum. Just put it full like that. If you have the other original one, you can use. So I'll stop just by that place inner pocket stopped. I will skip the pocket to the other side of it. So I'll complete it just like so and do the same thing to the other piece. Remember, whatever we do to the left, we'll do the same to the right. So this is the end of the lesson when it comes to the collar stitching, cutting and stitching. And after pressing, we will have the neck as seen here. All right, the video you're seeing on the screen are the previous lessons we've learned concerning this suit making. All the episodes are complete. If you want just to join our WhatsApp or Telegram suit classes, they are paid courses but affordable. You can reach us via the number on the screen for more information. Stay tuned. A good learning experience to you all. See you in my next lesson. Bye.